for long. Because you don't know that day, oh Jesus Christ, he could come. So if you see me today, I know my love. I know my love. Oh, my love. Anybody for me champagne today, I know my love. I know my love. Oh, my love. The time I waka, yo. I mean, I can go my bed, lonely, lonely story. The time I buy my Toyota, flossy, come on, what a lovely story. I don't live this life, yo, because I got my Bible, yo. Because the blessings I get from the Most High is so great, though. So if you see me today, I know my love. I know my love.
My chef and party planner.
Like
You know we can't get to this retirement/birthday shouldn't go wrong.
Everything is almost ready, but small problem.
Alright, what's up?
We are way over budget, Kweku.
Everything is almost twice the estimate.
Alibaba, okay? No worries.
So with TAPTAP Send, I have got a cake and decorations covered for the year.
You handle the food.
If any extra expenses comes up, just text me or call me.
I'm off today, so I should be easily reachable.
Hey, chairman, it is all day.
Say, no be easy, you. Chairman has time and money.
Would you do it, so?
Allah.
Kweku tap tap, Kweku do, Kweku that.
Our chairman can't call you.
Hey, Alande, Chairman send them.
TAPTAP Send. Papa no.
After successfully redefining Accra's skyline with the delivery of the signature apartment, Cape May Properties presents an exclusive unveiling of the tallest residential building in Ghana, offering a first look of Selton Sky. Selton Sky, a magnificent representation of the seamless fusion of quality, groundbreaking innovation, and pioneering architectural brilliance. An extraordinary structure set to reshape the concept of upscale living, thanks to its inventive attributes and unparalleled commitment to precision. This master-planned residential development will focus on the building's location, security, privacy, the design's aesthetic brilliance, elevated features in each living space, cutting-edge smart home technology, and amenities beyond imagination, with fantastic residential features which include 24-hour concierge service, a state-of-the-art fitness center, a floating tennis court, a floating swimming pool, a spa, a sky pool, a sky lounge, a movie theater, co-working spaces, kids zone, distinctive lifts for staff and deliveries, private gardens, chef's kitchen, expansive terraces, entertainment rooms, restaurant, and 24-hour security. Selton Sky, a new perspective in the sky.
So, Christica Manian, put me do round to say. Some is a jammer within a minute in Sabacandia, and then one tap send.
Yeah, Bushan a man for. We didn't an akuma patch one. They recommended TAPTAP Send that mama. And that's our for for baby. Diabasa, our rating so yeah. We are A1 into a piano do TAPTAP Send. That all says it can for TAPTAP. Piao.
You're going to do a mansan. You're going to do a gala for say. You are going to near this coffee in here. May and friend for the VR, even TAPTAP sign. TAPTAP at the move. TAPTAP sign in this street.
TAPTAP and one in a
TAPTAP with the one.
I was for me, Mamma, a chain, a Joe, aha. Baby be a war, we are suffering in a sabri wababe came home, a would you may so, Mimao, Aquaba, bidding any Nana Kwame or say two. And you may, Yatnasia, nay, you may dear back up a time with tap send, and at the airbrow, baby be a woody if it Thursday, you may dear back up and in area say a fanana sabri almost in Kunya at 180. Last week, the young papanamo, a buyer, Emma, ye know much to train and come Emma and Comodine, echo, and Nimupa. And then so ye the Yenya Berryma Bako, the month of June, dear, Father's Month celebration, and into yes, you know, say ye the best celebrity and papanamo. Nene Yenya Berryman so ubia on your ho ewo Jumedi so or tie a basopa. And I'm saying any yan into yes, UK immigration rules no almost SSM na say oye family member na ebi a hokanfo ewo my Ghana mu anampo kras ebi a wo ma ewo my Ghana mu na wo kwa akofo mu aba ehun sikasem a say wo any ansa na watimi e de wo hokanfo no aba no na ensem bi na che say ekwa animu pa esanse sika na ka wo mo bobo so no enye nipa nyina na betimi age say sika no enu nti no se ekoba ne sa na che say ebinim ho be kire mo pa madam lawyer bi nso no ka say man no be firewood so what you say enu nti na ho kafo akaso oja na nso te ha no na ntimi nkofa ne ma esanse ye ka say ese oje be say 38,000 ansana watimi akofa ho kafo abakroma no na je say etieti nipa fa hodie so pa eno enanansen yenyane ntie se ensakra bi yaba ena ene yakwa akotwe lawyer aba se omra yene ne ntwetwe sa nkomo no na yenhwe ekwan a yenso yebetimi asiesie ho se bane se yese yekofa ye hokafo ifi eye Ghana anase Africa edene ba edien ena asieye enti ene eye UK visas and immigration matters all that you need to know ene yene lawyer wisdom akaho eba betwetwe eho enkomo na yetimi edi dwumadi ebrewa na eye adaroma tap send woma ena yetimi edi dwumadi ebrew every Thursday bia enti yede aseda kese pa ede ebema omo se abre nyina no omo timi boayen ema yetimi di dwumadi ebre eye ahwefo eni atiefo ba bia obia ewobia eni yenko tap send asoye na yenkohwe ehon so no ne omo ewo ede emayen ehon mo ena owura eye Kofi Frimpong growth manager UK Europe bo honomo na wode update ho nyina ede abre Kofi me mo adwomo akwa ede ebadwumadi so na nwumre
Yeah,
you are on mute. Unmute yourself. Why?
But you'll be at Temenka, Unquan Antemenka, which you'll be a numre.
Producer mente a year Oracle from Pon Kawaha, and then said the Nanko didn't huni. Now so an idea as a maintaining canteen, Miss Lewa Shena Fa Kofi Ebra Messiah the Hanamo Emame. Na maintaining. I feel me tonka papa.
Abusia phone na temenka na wonkwan wan temenka but enya koye Thursday there's only one place to be OT media platform or the tap send abusia for bacho me chia obia me wish you obia a nice Thursday evening me chia obia was spend time with us on every Thursday ohwe and then na who said me Jessica kra team said whether na ba nipa utimi ko jogging kakra and so you are taking time off Nasi yesi petena show is what we don't take it for granted. We want to tell everyone that we appreciate you. You do biase. Now what has also I saw so be free unia be out UK until UK mpo na so betimi asema information obenya wa ha no ebetimi asesa efie amount intino free obi no be join ye na anwumre so me buy from TAPTAP send ade aye kan say ye koso eguso ye referral campaign or ye say refer 10 and get 150 your currency with nipa 10 eba obenya £150 $150 €150 now omo Norway and checking it Sanfofon will just do an equivalent of $150 for them because Munusi kind of denomination a little bit different but Nana me catch was me share me dashboard to a half one pound of money a break pa
Norway
aircon
Norway ana
okay $150 na ebusuafo aye take show so that can we need na nipa 10 ebeji one up finne ekusi end of month utimi refer nipa 10 $150 £150 €150 enti nana me buy and referral campaign no me ma busuafo hu says still we are on ya gusua na yetwa referral campaign so and as me mentioned last week ya added so many countries now use euro but they are in Europe a lot of them over 9 countries Malta Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Czech Republic, Hungary, Finland for also who did that. Mount for also Austria or Mutim TAPTAP send. And now Ebusia for so far away in Australia for also 80 use TAPTAP send. Timpacho show is what do us a favor by just maybe finding one of our logos TAPTAP send Fato WhatsApp status so Obi Busawa say any Jimmy promo code now the promo number. We are not 10 Boma and only 150. Nana me possible if there's something that you want me to talk about, I'll kindly take it.
Yadase pa ewo sa promo ya oba hundere na oba program we so dia mesre wa ka kire enkrofo se wo mu use promo code OTMJ1 wo mu ebenya no cool e wo say yes 10 omu refer 10 with their referral code na omu ebenya 150 of their currency and so me sai akaiwo ubetimi enso ayusu OTMJ1 ewo sai show we so the any promo code that you use ewo hano inti amonkai yo Kofi you better say na apart from the referral campaign is there anything new amanfo enhye ne so ana wakika na emom sai fa ka ho se uwo UK hanom uwo Europe na uwo adamfo bi a oye Jamaica ni a ka che ono nso se de TAPTAP send edu Jamaica ani nti ono nso embomodin a na won kanche ne nanfofo na wo nso enyusu TAPTAP send emfan send enko Jamaica de yehu ni say all the remittance companies are omo a transfer call Jamaican nyina they charge fees, they all charge fees, but with TAPTAP a no fee transfer, no transfer fee to Jamaica, a free of charge, a call bank account and as a cash pickup, a easy cra and the bomodiana kache wagwan, one love na kache nyina won download the TAPTAP send Kofi bibi eni hono mu bie mu dia my last word na fe yenja o hanom
me patcho you making sure say you be stay healthy, you be stay hydrated. Onama say na kwa me no musuo no one musuo say na be ya be stay hydrated. And na message ya lawyer so na madana say every time be your friend will show you so oba na obeboa ya busuafo no more immigration service. Lawyer ya chia pa and we wish you a pleasant show. Na me that's it.
Kofi Frimpong, Kofi, you better ask pa say bring na so nyamre e the update free TAPTAP e the brain. Abusia for we the message.
Kafra, nana kwa me answer na beko no. Owe class wa ha no ma. I think say wallet to wallet no. UK BB wo ho na A class update bi wo so na wallet to wallet no. I think say BB Kwasu UK, but since Mona Mohono, have you seen any development on the wallet to wallet? If you're on this show, please just use a minute to talk about it.
At the moment, for a church now. At the moment, the wallet to wallet, and they're rolling out to, I think, 95% of the customers. It is me was young, said an annual test here. Bet me as an isika ama antilis bet me as an iska ama nana kwame. All that you need is nipakron either telephone number or the promo code na what app anymore. That's all that you need. Just 100% sure. Again, dear, a bidimu ABC say into the nipakron telephone number na what app man na the promo code in there. A unique to one person, and you can simply send the person some coins so as well. It is like a crack a wallet to wallet no and check almost beko Europe so into more Europe so the best of them say montam chuku enchebiano ebedru on so
yo all right class mesre say abia obi and any first time or to the word wallet to wallet enti cheye mu kakra wo kan wallet to wallet na eno ne de
okay. For wallet to wallet, no, say, so show app in one. Ubon say, there's a space, you was no more. About pound, and I say euro. Oh, hold on. Now, must trot cities or rights in the side, At the moment, cities wallet in the engagement, it is on hold at the moment, But your country currency now, baby, I want at the end it is a one so you activate to the best one say call app no call app so I call create wallet so call create wallet now emma kwan emma wono sika no where then betimi discard atumu ewo ho and eyi back so no it gives you the chance to put in money in your wallet no betimi save wo ho. And now, me anytime you have a person can be and you can easily use that. And at the point where wallet no say, the answer say, "Unya wadin so be seniska and menu now plan say be at the end of the month. Beso be this kana me pacho ubetimi edi ababe to more. It is our wallet no say in case be a o person send be ekoma obi unya be the birthday. It's also go to Amazon voucher and I say. Of the gift cards no bet me you should tap send now the then web channel birthday spelling kakra no dey share half far and I dey back good about the wallet so in case there be a transaction let's say for certain reasons like to say the minia baby a tono and ra I was send this can send back no surprise and a background surprise momo no o yusu bim incident go ba say scan e efeli ana you can easily request scanning wallet straight away. And once you request it that way, it will be straight to your wallet. But so as a refund, it's can go back to bank card as well. And they take it 2 to 3 working days. Into wallet, instant refund into your wallet. A boasu ye panso ewo. Nana Mbachendru how?
All right, class. You better say, "Ewo update our day abre on wallet to wallet." Sabri, mefa advert baku etwem na fe me lawyer Wisdom Akaho from Wise Smart Solicitors. Edino abro lawyer. Maminda ni me hona mefa advert baku etwem na fe mefa lawyer enfa embro. Eni ti ebra ye kofa lawyer aba no me sewa abomodi afre onua bi adamfo bi no so enjoy ne enanwumre e wo show yi so. Me da say. Producer
Me did the young antechwa and maybe I'm discovered for Europe akuma busuya for Ghana no. Me use to tap send. Tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Eye easy, eye convenient, eye fast. And sounds so free. She. Me discover ye map tap send. Intienne also download the tap send app no ever mobile phone so free. Na fesika komu busuya for Ghana fa na nyina. Tap send. Papa no.
So Christica Manian, put me do rap to say. So me send Yama within a minute in Sabakandra and then one TAPTAP send.
Yeah, ebusiafo amanfo bidindi na nakoma pachrewa 1. They recommended TAPTAP send amamo. And that's how for aba. O send ko fa baby a. Da ye basa. Omo rating so ye. Omo ye A1. Nti obian no do TAPTAP send. Na on say sika for TAPTAP. Piao.
Yɛbɔ hu de wɔkyerɛ amansan yɛbɔ hu de wɔkyerɛ Ghana for say yɛwɔ akwantu ne de sika kɔfie nie me yɛn fɛnfa baabi a yɛbɛnu yɛn ho TAPTAP sign TAPTAP edemu fua TAPTAP sign in this asu
TAPTAP de anyone na yɛn na eyi
TAPTAP de anyone na ɛkɔ.
Yo, Adafunum, Bedamasi, said Mugusu, a chain, ye, and my Dani, home, a buyer. And they, ye bidding and common alpha, a UK immigration matters, a home. Yensa Aka, a lawyer wisdom Macao from Wiseman Solicitors and then you marry, Jumedi, so I in a barbarian common. Lawyer, Majumo Aquaba, and then you marry Edo about Jumedi. So.
Nana, Mejo, so Mensu Mawaju, Emma Wakwaba, what is saying?
Unyamina drum, me hon ye papa now sway.
The money Dawson, Minia, a domino, a Dawson, and my na.
You are looking very, very sharp this evening. I know say lawyer for the more dressing, more dressing, and so and then you may I don't know a light in and I say your new look and I'm you looking sharp, sir.
Nana, new grace, new grace.
Great. Evidence say your tones are flow and you may when you're emre any barber and como ewo jumedi so. Say oti amononi hanomo na se enkata seminyan to 2 years. Imposa tutu ye esan se debia ni debia omsan ni omamunti no na hu be hia se yenya update nya nansen ena yete se prime minister ede ne white paper aba tudwa a che se eba no minimum financial requirement a se obi wa amonone ha na okwa need to UK ha na akokofa ne hokafo ede na ba yenya ne ntie se no mpeso mo page from 29,000 and they got 38,000. You have to earn 38 good £1,000 and sana watimi akofa odofo efi amonone ede na ba onipa so nya firewood so lawyer na che se asem bia na emu e den pa emayen na so yenya ne ntie se recommendations bi eba eno ene epese enu di hu komo na ocheche yemu se de eko esifa ewo immigration ensemu ewo UK hanom lawyer etio
Nana me da say etiefo ni ahwefo nyina be mamo adwo megidi se obia hu ye adomonente yeda erade ase nana ene de ye bebo ni point na ye koye ni mwana na me da say last week because I briefly about the recommendation of committee via from MAC Migration Advisory Committee. But before I so with their recommendations, because let me a brief background to this whole thing. Now, before the 9th of July 2012, 9th July 2012, Sir Uokrumha, we a British citizen, and now indefinite leave to remain, settlement. Now, Upesa Ukofa Uyiri and now Kuno Eba Krumha. There was no requirement for you to meet a certain level of income. What was required, maintenance. Not financial requirement, but maintenance. In other words, menya sika nhwe no ana makofa mekuna ba menya sika nhwe no ana yenya sika ndidinti mu ema yen sika ne enkwahwe ye ho. The government didn't want to finance your enjoyment until you have to be responsible for your own enjoyment. Until you and ever, you need to meet some financial requirements. So on the 9th or before the 9th of July 2012, there was no financial requirement. What was required was called or is called maintenance. I'll tell how the calculation is made. So from the 9th, at the time, Naya Mami Theresa May, NAS Secretary of State for the Home Department, Odi Emrani Baye said, "Sir, wako worry. Now person di uyiri and now kuno eba kuno. You need to meet financial requirements, a certain threshold, minimum income requirements, MIR, minimum income requirements. You have to meet that threshold. And sana wet me do and now kuno. And so from the 9th of July 2012, that was when the financial requirements kicked in. So from that day, the threshold that was set was £18,600. £18,600. So it is 3,800 in addition to the 18,600. So it was 18,600 plus 3,800. Another child it is 2,400. Another child is 2,400. So any additional child was to add up to the 18,600. So it is 18,600 for only your wife or your husband. A first child is 3,800. A second child is 2,400. A third child is 2,400. And any additional child is 2,400, 2,400, 2,400. Now that became the law. And for over 12 years, and not any age, now, the Conservatives came into power, and I must say, this financial requirement or the threshold has been there for a very long time, over 10 years in Tiamu. And also from 18,600, Ediko £29,000. We made a lot of noise that they have to reduce it because it was too high. But now, but there was a further proposal said they were going to take it from the 29,000 to 35,000 pounds. Then from the 35,000, they will take it to 38,700 pounds, in line with skilled workers here. And so, thankfully, the increment did not take effect before the Conservatives left power. Now, Home Office and a government, new government, I must say, I'm person say 35 no, and then ultimately to 38,700, or it should be reviewed. Now, government no say and they want to make some reviews or some changes. There is this body called Migration Advisory Committee, MAC, Migration Advisory Committee. So now omu dia seven akwaja wom say sani ye dwen sani ye pese ye no na so mumu hwe mu mayen se ne ye pese ye no ana ne ye dwen no ye nya ne sa ana bebia da no enda ehwa. And see, Mark was tasked with the duty to check if the financial threshold should be increased from the £29,000 to £35,000 and then ultimately to 38,700. So Mark was given up to June this year to do that review. A lot of responses from organizations and from individuals. And based on that, they came out with their recommendations for the government. it is not binding on the government. Say government ni pair near Mark Akano on Bejetum. Omu penswa, omu nyi entum. The government normally only tends to follow what is suitable for them or what they like. What they don't like, they would not normally follow that advice. So Mark, I hear a lot of recommendations. I will come to that. So bear in mind, it was 18,600. After 12 years or so, it went to 29,000 pounds. With the proposal, it's going to go up from 29,000 pounds to 35,000 pounds, and then from 35,000 pounds to 38,700. But the government said Mark should review the whole thing and give them some recommendations. Now, before that, before I go to the recommendations, sir, and you don't meet the 29,000 pounds threshold. 29,000 a year kano. And yes, sika eda wo account mo. And yes, sika ewa wo savings mo. That is not what we are looking for. We don't care what money is in your account. Even if you are in negative, even if you are in zero, we don't care. What we care about is that you earn that amount a year before tax. So if you earn the 29,000 pounds and there is zero in your account, it does not matter. It's not required that there has to be money sitting in your account. What we want to know is that, do you earn the 29,000 pounds? And if the answer is yes, which we can see from your pay slips and your bank statement and your P60, then we can prove that you actually earn that 29,000 pounds. If that happens, I will say it again, you don't have to have any money in your account. It can be zero, it can be negative, you can still bring your wife or your husband to join you in the UK. So that is that aspect. Also, there are some people who don't earn. They are receiving some types of benefits. If you are receiving certain types of benefits, you do not have to meet the 29,000 pounds. Once you can meet the maintenance, you are good to go. I will look at those exceptions to the financial requirement after this. So you don't have to meet the 29,000 pounds if you are receiving some benefits. I will go through that. That is that. And also, if you don't earn 29,000 pounds from PAYE, your employer, and you are not on any of the exempt list, but you are a self-employed person, you can also bring your husband or your wife if you meet the requirements. I would again look at what the self-employed people also have to show. But before I come to that, let me go down on what Mark said. Mark's recommendation. Mark said, when I say Mark, it is Migration Advisory Committee. So the short form is MAC, Mark. And if I say MIR, MIR stands for Minimum Income Requirements. MIR stands for Minimum Income Requirements. MAC stands for MAC, Migration Advisory Committee. So I'll be using this as we go along. Now, Mark said the MIR can have significant negative effects on families. Now, negative effect to the extent that there is a woman here, she's got 2 children. She has to do child care. She has to drop the children in school. She has to go and work and then come back to pick the children from school. Because of the child care, she is not able to do full-time work. And therefore, she is not able to meet the 29,000 pounds. The fact that she doesn't meet that amount, the husband is separated. The husband is in Ghana, Nigeria, or some other country. She is here struggling with childcare and struggling with work. Because of that, it is having a negative impact on the separation. I mean, the man and the children are separated. The man, his children, and the man and his wife, or the woman, the woman and the husband, there is a separation. Because of that, it is resulting in a negative impact on the families of British citizens, settled people, and their children. So that was one of the findings of MAC. And because of this, they made a recommendation. Another thing they found out was that a lot of stress is on the partner who is in the UK. Stress. Like I said, the woman has to juggle the children and work and home and children and work and home. Stress. And it's also leading to mental health problems. That is what Mark said. Stress, mental health problems caused by the separation. So, because of some of these effects, it is recommending that the government should, if it can, go with Mark's recommendations and not stick to the £29,000 because it is causing a lot of stress because of the separation between the families. I have personally seen families that broke up because of the separation. Because the man is there, the woman is here, and it's difficult. The man, I listened to an audio a lady brought to me the other day, I think sometime last week. This woman came to me in the attempt to bring the children. The father is not involved, is somewhere else, and this little boy, I think 8 or 10 years old, made an audio, a voice note, and sent to the mother. She played it for me to listen to. It was so heart-wrenching. It was so sad, let me use the word, that this little boy could record that and send to the father, send to the mother. This is what he asked. Mommy, I don't know when daddy months not together. I don't know why I'm separated. And this little voice, innocent little voice, was asking the mother this question, and the woman was broken. Just because she is not able to meet the £29,000 to bring the husband to join her here. So you can see the mental health problem even this little child is going through, let alone the mother and the father. It's sad. So Mark said, please, Home Office, government, if you can reduce this amount. So Mark says mental health, stress, and it's causing a lot of problems. And they went on with the mental health again. He says, apart from the children and their parents who are separated, it is also causing mental health problems for the parents themselves. And you know, this country, they really take mental health seriously. So that was a strong point for Mark to go on. And then Mark also made another observation. It says that the £29,000 requirement as a financial requirement for you to bring your husband or your wife is too high. And Mark said there are other countries, other European countries or other countries in the world that also may have financial requirements, but it is not as high as the £29,000 the Home Office or the UK government is asking for. That is too high. And Mark went ahead and said, the UK professes, or the UK, rights on the wings of human rights. We do with Article 8, human right. We do human rights. But the other countries that are not even taking, those countries that are not even in the human right, they haven't signed the Article 8 Human Rights Act or whatever it is, they are not even charging their citizens or their residents as high as you are recommending. They are not even talking about human rights, and still their money is lower. you are talking about human rights and your money is so high. And therefore, it means that you are placing more emphasis on the economy or the economic impact rather than on the family lives of these individuals. And therefore, Mark said it was too high a figure to go with. £29,000 was too high. And Mark also went ahead and said it was too difficult for people to provide these documents to support the application. I read somebody's report that was somebody's response that was sent to Mark. They said they had to work 2-3 jobs before they can meet the £29,000. Sometimes you do all these jobs at the expense of your health. Your partner comes and you're already sick, you're already unwell. So the quality family life you're supposed to have, you can't have it because of the stress imposed on you by working around the clock just to raise that figure. So it is too high, Mark said. And it is difficult for people to bring all these documents together. Now, if you look at the list of documents that are required before you can bring your spouse to the UK, you need 6 months pay slips, 6 months bank statement, you need pay slips, you need P60, you need a letter from your employer. The letter from the employer has to state when you started the job. Is it permanent? Is it contract? Is it an agency? Is it full-time? It has to state it. It has to state the amount of money you receive and when you started receiving that level of income. That is what the employer's letter will have to say. And then you have to add communication, WhatsApp messages, emails, telephone calls. You have to add pictures. You have to add visits. It's too much. That is what Mark is saying. It is just too much to ask for all these things before somebody can bring their wife to this country. And therefore, people are going through too much problems just collating these documentations in addition to the financial requirement. And therefore, Mark says, government, if you can reduce this figure. But you and I know that the government will not reduce it. They may not raise it, but it's not likely that they will reduce the figure. So those are some of the things. And also, Mark eventually said the requirements are incoherent. In other words, unnecessarily complex. Now, another thing they said is this. The salary rate in London is higher than the rates in other parts of the country. If you look at the rate in London is higher. People are paid higher in London than people are paid outside Newcastle, Birmingham, Manchester, and all those other places. Now, are you using the same level of income threshold for everybody across board? When people in London are receiving higher, people in Newcastle are receiving lower, it means they have to work twice as hard or much, much more to meet the £29,000 compared to somebody who is in London and is earning a higher figure. So if you look at it, it is not fair to use the same figure across the regions, which I think is a sound argument. But of course, the government will not say outside London, you make 20,000, inside London or inner London, make 29,000. So they just use the same figure for everybody. And that is what Mark is saying is not fair for the government to use one figure for people who are earning higher and for people who are earning lower. So that has to be looked at as well. And Mark also said, recommendation. They made a recommendation that right now the government only looks at the party who is in the UK. So if I am here and I want to bring my wife to join me here, the government is only looking at my income, my salary, not the job my wife is coming to do, the money she's coming to earn. They don't look at that. They only look at what I am earning. So Mark recommended that if the government can also look at the job offer, a verified job offer of the partner that is coming. So if I am earning, let's say, 20,000, and my partner who is coming has a verified job offer, and the job is going to give her 15,000, if we add my 20,000 to her 15,000, that is 35,000. So the government, the Mark is asking that consider the verified job offer of the partner who is coming, and not only to focus on the person who is here's income. So that was one of the recommendations Mark put out there. Very interesting. I just want to run this up quickly and then go to other things. Now, Mark made a few recommendations. Mark says if somebody is receiving 15,100 benefit cap, they should be able to bring their partner to join them in the UK. That is higher risk of poverty for couples. Considerations. Now, also 17,000 is for poverty, higher risk of poverty for couples again. And then Mark also said national living wage, instead of whatever figure it is now, the government should consider 23,800. 23,800. So if the government accepts this, it means that they are now looking at the national living wage and not the London rate and all those ones, which is higher. They should look at it, the national living wage across board. So that somebody in Newcastle, somebody in Birmingham, somebody in Brighton, somebody in, let's say, Sheffield, can also meet that threshold rather than the £29,000. So Mark recommended they should use the national living wage, which is 23,800, of course, to calculate. And Mark also made another very important recommendation. Mark said, if somebody is receiving universal credit, right now as we speak, if you're receiving universal credit, you cannot bring your spouse to join you here. But Mark is saying, if somebody is on universal credit and they are taking 23,500, depends on the benefit system, they should also be able to bring their partner to join them here in the UK. And of course, they also made a recommendation that real living wage depends on external matter, that is 24,900. Now, these are the requirements Mark has made to the government, that don't stick to the £29,000 and say, by all means, you have to make the £29,000. By all means, you have to meet the £29,000. Rather, consider these benefit caps: poverty benefit cap of 15,100, poverty of 17,000, national living wage 23,800, universal credit 23,500, and real living wage of 24,900. The government should consider this figure so that if a person falls within this category, they can bring their spouse without having to, by all means and at all costs, meet the £29,000. So these are the recommendations of Mark. We hope that the government would accept it. We hope that the government would accept it. Even if they do not accept everything, I believe that they should take into account people who are on the universal credit, so that at least they can bring their spouses to join them in the UK, because a lot of our mothers, a lot of the women, particularly the women, are going through a lot of stress, juggling childcare, juggling work, juggling school, and all of this all by themselves, only because the husband is not here. So let's look at that. Yes, universal credit has been included in the recommendation. So we hope that that will be taken on board, and it should be good and helpful. Now let me go to assuming somebody doesn't earn the £29,000. The person does not meet the £29,000, but they are on a certain type of benefit, not universal credit, but on a certain type of benefit. Are they able to bring their husband or their wife? Now, yes, they are able to bring their husband or their wife if they can meet the maintenance. Let's differentiate this. We have the financial requirements and then we have the maintenance. These are two different things. F for finance, M for maintenance. F for finance, M for maintenance. Please take note of this. We shouldn't confuse these things. The financial requirement is the 29,000. The maintenance is not £29,000. Let me show you how we calculate the maintenance. You will use the income support threshold to calculate the maintenance. The case law for that is the case of Uvovo. It's what we use to determine whether a person is living below the poverty line or just on the poverty line. Now, if you are a single parent, you need to have £92 and 80p a week. 92 pounds and 80p a week. You multiply that by 4, you get a total for the month. A child is 84 pounds and 66p a week. You multiply that by 4. Then you add the first one and the second one. And then you add your rent and your council tax to it. The total you get, compare it to the benefit you are receiving. Compare to the benefit you are receiving. If your benefit is higher than that amount, then you can bring your partner to the UK. That is for the maintenance. Let me go over the figures again. Now, assuming somebody's accommodation is, let's say, £800 a month, and council tax is £100 a month. Let's use a woman. A woman is here, she's receiving benefit, she wants to bring the husband, and she's receiving the type of benefit I'll talk about. And let's do the calculation. We have 92. If anybody is listening and they can help me do the calculation, I'll be very, very grateful. 92 pounds and 8p, 92.08 times 4 will give you 368 pounds 32p. And then for the child, we have 84 pounds and 66p times 4 weeks. That gives you 338 pounds and 64p. Now let's add the parents' own, which is 368.32. So total is 706 pounds 96p. Plus, thank you. That person is good. Your math is good. From appreciate to everyone. Thank you. That is 706.96. Now let's add your rent to it. Your rent is 800 pounds. So 800 pounds plus council tax of 100 pounds. So total is 1,606 pounds and 96p. So we have 1606.96. Now, if the benefit you receive is more than 1,606 pounds, you can bring your partner to the UK. So let's say the benefit you receive is 1,610 pounds. You can bring your partner to the UK because you meet the maintenance. But that is only for people who are receiving these benefits. Not all benefits, but these benefits I'm going to mention. 1, disability living allowance. If you are receiving disability living allowance, you do not need the 29,000 pounds. All you need is the calculation we have just made. If there is no child, then the figure is lower. It's going to be 706.86. It's going to be actually 368 plus the 800 or plus the 900. That's going to be about 1,000. Let's just round up to 1,300. So if you are receiving disability living allowance, you don't need the 29,000 pounds. All you need a month is around 1,300. If you are receiving severe disablement allowance, you do not need the 29,000 pounds. All you need, depending on your benefits and your rent and council tax, is all you need. If you are receiving severe injury disablement benefit, you do not need to show 29,000 pounds. You don't. If you are receiving attendance allowance, you also do not need to meet the 29,000 pounds. You do not. NOT in caps, you do not have to meet the 29,000 pounds. If you are receiving carers allowance, maybe there is a mom, your child is unwell, and you are the one caring for the child. If you can show that you meet the maintenance, you will be able to bring your partner to the UK. Somebody is asking limited liability benefit. That is not captured here. It only says disability living allowance, severe disablement allowance, industry injury disablement benefit, attendance allowance. Well, the why should go to the government. I'm sure they know, they have their reason why they exclude some. And they have attendance allowance, we have carers allowance, and then we have PIP. I think most of us have heard of PIP, Personal independence payment. That is also an amount or a benefit they pay to people who are not well, who are receiving some support. PIP, personal independent payment. If you receive that, you are able to, of course, bring your partner to the UK if you meet the maintenance requirements. Now, if you are receiving armed forces independence payment or guaranteed income payment under the Armed Forces Compensation Scheme, you are also able to bring your partner if you meet the maintenance requirement. Now, if you are receiving constant attendance allowance, mobility supplement, or war disabled pension under the War Pension Scheme, you are also able to bring your spouse to the UK. So that is also, and these are the exemptions for people who are not working and they're receiving benefit. You can bring your partners. Now, if you are on pension, and your pension, if you collect all the state pension, your private pension, or everything, and it will equate to £29,000 a year for you, then of course, you can also bring your partner to the UK. If your pensions will be more than £29,000 a year, that is the money available to you, then yes, you can also bring your partner to the UK. And of course, there are some people who have properties, they have rental properties. You are also able to, if you can get money from the rent you receive and all of that, in addition to your Uber job or in addition to your maybe your part-time job, it takes you above the £29,000, you are also able to bring your husband or your wife to the UK. So these are the things. Now, let me go to a person who is self-employed. If you are self-employed, what documents do you need to show before you can bring your partner? Okay? If you are self-employed, you have to show the evidence of the amount of tax you pay, payable, paid or unpaid for the last full financial year. They want for the full financial year. So you have to be able to provide that if you are self-employed. And if you are self-employed, remember your profit is what we are working with. The profit has to be £29,000 and above. Not your turnover, but the profit. The profit has to be £29,000 because that is what is available to you. Just like the £29,000 is available to the employee, you, the self-employed person, the profit is what is available to you. So it has to be £29,000. So evidence of tax payable, paid and unpaid for the last full financial year. Number two, annual self-assessment tax return to HMRC. If you're a self-employed person, you need to prove that you have submitted your annual self-assessment tax return to HMRC. They need a copy. You can print it out and you can use that to support your application. Number three, you need a statement of account, SA 300 or SA 302. Your accountant knows this thing. So if you have an accountant, talk to the accountant and they will be able to prepare this for you. Proof of registration with HMRC as a self-employed person. You have to be registered with the HMRC as a self-employed person. You need that proof as well. Some of this information are on your self-assessment. And of course, you need your unique tax reference number. Unique tax reference number. You have to show that in support of the application. Your bank statement for the same 12 months period, because remember, they want you to show the self-assessment for the last 12 months. So they want your bank statement for the same 12 months. They want to see that money is going into the account, money is coming out of the account. You are operating the account as a self-employed person. That is to prove that the account is not blank for a whole year, and then you go and prepare a self-assessment and bring it to them that I am a self-employed person. No, that will not work. So they want to see an account that money is going in and out to prove that, as a matter of fact, you're a self-employed person. Not every month money in, but of course, the better your case will be if you can prove that every month money is in and out of your account. And they also want evidence of ongoing self-employment through evidence of payment of Class 2 National Insurance contribution. If you are paying your NI, you have to prove it for them to show that, to see that, of course, you are truly a self-employed person. And the last thing they want is a letter from your accountant. And the accountant will have to be a person who is recognized to practice in the UK as a recognized accountant. An accountant who is recognized in the UK from an accountant who is a member of a UK recognized supervisory body is not just any accountant. If they are not qualified to practice in the UK, if they give you any letter, it will not work. So you need an accountant that is qualified, that is registered, that is being regulated in the UK by a supervisory body in the UK, and they are able to prove that. Now, if you can show all of this as a self-employed person, then you have a very good case. Your husband or your wife can come and join you here in the UK. So, Nana, this is it. There are other requirements for the finance. You can combine different categories: category A, category B, category C, category D, category A, category C. You can combine different categories: self-employed, PAYE, income from even if you have some shares and stuff like that, you have some dividends from all of this, it can also come up together to add up to your to meet your £29,000. Some categories you can't combine, some you can combine. So generally, the £29,000 is the starting position, but there are exceptions or there are exemptions, and there are other categories you can use to bring your wife or your husband to the UK. So Nana, it is not that everybody will have to meet the £29,000. There are some who do not have to meet it. Of course, Mark made a lot of other recommendations, but what is important is what we give to you. What is important is what we bring out. If you want to read a report from Mark, if you are interested in reading the report from Mark, just go online and type in, when you go online, just type in, let me see, committee, let's say committee advises against minimum income. Just go online and type in committee advises against further increase to minimum income requirement, or migration advisory committee recommendation on £29,000 minimum income requirement. If you type in that, it will pull the report for you. Take your time, read it, you understand it, you know what is in there. Like I've said, it is not binding on the government. They would assess it. If they wish, they would accept it. If they don't like it, they won't be forced to accept it. Usually, they accept what benefits them or what is favorable to them. Let's wait and see what the outcome of this report will be. And I'll leave it here. If anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to respond to it in the next 20-25 minutes. Thank you very much.
Yo, like you better say all this information out there are bring and enumerate to help us prepare and bring na yentimi fa yen hoka for mfi amanoni emfambra my ganem. Na na mo akohine emse question there emse wan join in tem lawyer yi ano or say obusa say or any 35,000 na opeso de ne hoka for eba efi Ghana eba na sika no ebi ni account name ni pay slip. And I say, I need pay slip. It should say, or any 35,000. Obetimi dinabana.
Yes, 100%. Who was the account no more? Who is the account more? And yet no any share. Yeah, share says the casang na wuji. And ye do pay slip, ye do gross and your calculation. Ye do bank statement. Ye share says the kana eba account no more no. Se kana what pay slip no so and no and echo account no more na. Na me who be that? Me who be that many who be that. Sa gross na eba se kana eba account no more different from near ewo pay slip no so me who be that. Me who be that. In fact, me who court. Sikana eba account mo totally different from the our pay slip no so. Ena ne yan wanwa po eyan wanwa na ye hu say the net was higher than the gross.
Accountant na anya na adwuma yi. Accountant na anya na adwuma. After Roman no.
Eniema ye hu no bebre enti
yes.
And see, ube ye one unyama shisha unyama ye. Make sure say everything is the net can never be higher than the gross. It doesn't happen anywhere. And if your net is higher than the gross, then there must be something wrong. Why?
Mr. So be so shisha unyama ye here accountant papa no nyama wa tili ewa hanom tili se obeye ede ama pepepe. Yo abusuafo sabre kwenya ewo honom o question bi na o zoom ne so a obetimi ama onsa so zoom ne so mefro now the question ede aba o de to chat room so making kayama, but I would prefer say ube maunsa so na sometimes here na follow up questions here for lawyer to be able to give you the right answer. And inti yenko tili ehonomo enyumrei tili bajo yetio.
Yo, Nana Medase, Michia lawyer, Michia Obia. Oh, last year, lawyer kind of person mechanic or castle or court na pay slip looks different from the income, you know. And then I'm person make a most of the time now. Obi or honma as a visa into a court accountant be also on running pay a mano because I've seen some people come in with those things into another say what they figures are share software, but it's not something that goes to HMRC. You can print it out. So and then a very fake, a very fake. Now I am when him say I didn't court I do see it.
Yes.
Yeah. What the lawyer is saying is right, but it's not right. Yeah. And I'm better
Tilly, from your experience, what would be your advice to yenuanoma mutie nyina say bi okofani ne yire anani kunu aba na opese accountant and running figures bi mano non fanko as a proof of the financial the financial position? What would be your advice?
Well, I've dealt with a few people that na omoba, you know, so we are self-employed. I need your bank business, you know, whatever you do, I need to find out. Another thing is here bank statement, every transaction, anything relating to the business, I need those information. Say and I'll do that. You know, I'm also governed to say lawyer you know, I'm governed and I wouldn't want to put my career into a year because of opinion. So I would need every proof of every document before I process anything. But when it comes to pay a year now, I have seen that before. We were, oh, me person, yeah, just do run a payroll for me. Physical way, so no. You know, it has to be done well. Are you PAYE registered? You know, I need those references to be able to process your yes. So that's what it is. Recently, you know, there was this lawyer I was speaking to on a private I'm running the payroll, but when it comes to filing the account now, so I have to question him. Are you really, is your business functioning? Or say, well, you know, but I'm running a payroll. I'm not seeing that much anything that happened because one, or you know, how did the payroll knows references? So it's what those things have been given to him by HMRC. So I'll process and you know every information you are giving me, but Banya maybe you know I wouldn't be able to sort it for you. So yeah, so that's what it is. It does.
Thank you.
Yo, lawyer obesu busa se oni na danfo anase oni ni uncle ena ete na opese okofa ne yire if your my Ghana muba ne uncle anase na danfo no ebetimi ama ne tenancy agreement na or they process ne visa nana.
Yes, Nana, before I go on that, to send your sister Tilly Kayano. Look, Nana, we go through a lot to get your certificate to practice. Accountants, lawyers, name them. all the professionals in this country, different professions, you go through a lot, nurses, doctors, and you not just go through a lot of stress, a lot of financial commitment. So an accountant will not qualify, and because of your £800 or £1,000 to jeopardize your certificate for life. I mean, nobody would do that because of somebody's £1,000. You are struck off for life. No. So when who drink drink and lawyer no any accountant any nurse no any doctor no so na so sometimes you see doctor in report be mine. The doctor will not jeopardize his profession by writing something which is not true, because of course not. He won't do that. Doctor will be any
lawyer be chawano be ba krobano bra me tire pa June time I submit coursework. Na me hwe na me coursework me delay na ma come doctor or na ma call no sick no. You menya 1 week extra. Yes, I'm a doctor. Na me nim. Yes, no. You see you're the white woman obroni fita na dey no ababe me doctor. Or GP practice. I didn't know. So this time round I went there and I'm catch and I say and I'm so mensa na me ya dey was through and I'm tehwe mensa ebuntimintimin type me coursework. And not true. My patient said he fell from. Okay, but
who coursework in or no engine license? I won't do it.
The woman said, my patient said he fell from there.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, so let me go to the question. I'll say, is a lawyer barrister? There's somebody asking a question about a lawyer. Okay, we'll go to that. Now we'll read the questions on the chat room. Yes, you can, if you are living with your uncle, you can get a letter from him, a copy of his tenancy agreement to say that, and a copy of his passport to say that my son, my nephew, Kojo Kwachi, lives with me. It's a 3-bedroom property. It's just the two of us here. He's bringing his wife to join him. I'm more than happy to accommodate her, and there'll be more than enough room for her to come to live in without overcrowding. So that short letter, plus his tenancy agreement, not Kojo's tenancy, but the uncle's tenancy or mortgage, plus a copy of the uncle's passport copy, a copy of his passport, the letter, tenancy agreement. Yes, we do it for people who are living with their parents or their uncles or any family. As long as the rooms are enough, they come without any problems.
Right. Yemfa Steph Ewahanamo and so. Steph, Bacho, go ahead and ask your question.
Please, my question is in two folds. So, firstly, I want to ask if you are a midwife in Ghana who dreams to work in the United States a day to come. So, I know that we are supposed to write maybe enclaves or islets or something. But how is the best way if you don't have any relative there who is going to accommodate you or staff? So what is the requirement, or how are you going to get there with your accommodation and staff covered? And what is the trusted sponsor, or let me say sponsorship or something that covers with your accommodation issues and stuff? And secondly, I asked about the uncle issue, I think in the comment section, and I was asking that my uncle is there and I'm in Ghana. So if I don't go through with my profession and he wants to file for me, after I have gotten to the United States, can I, or what is the way for me to get into my profession since I didn't go through the IELTS or the NCLEX exams?
Well, it's twofold. I'm not very conversant with the United States of America medical system in terms of their nursing or healthcare workers, etc., etc. I am not knowledgeable about that. So I will be misleading you if I give you any answer right now. What I can do for you is, if you WhatsApp me after this program, I will speak to a doctor friend of mine in the US. A doctor friend, let me say sister friend, is more of a family. I can speak to her. If she agrees, I would connect the two of you. She can give you a lot of information, but I cannot give you any information. I'll be misleading you, okay? Now, your uncle here in the UK cannot file for you. It's not like in the US system where we have this filing, father filing for children, etc. UK, uncle, nieces is not very common unless there is the proof that there is a serious medical problem and you need care here. But of course, if you are a nurse or a midwife and you are able to work, then you don't need care. And therefore, he's unable to file anything for you to come to join him here in the UK. If you are coming on another route, maybe as a student, as a spouse, that is a different thing, but not him filing for you to join him here as a nephew. Sorry, as a niece. That doesn't work.
Lawyer, I'm Steph, Neni Ewo US. Internet said the questions is about US.
It's about the US.
Yeah, connect her.
Steph, so take my number. Take my number. Is I think it's on board. 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. 079 31 41 1042. Steph, WhatsApp me, send me a message that you are the person who asked a question. I will speak to my lady in the US. She's a medical doctor. She can guide you. She's from Ghana. She went through the system, became a nurse. From there, she did all the necessary courses. She's now a medical doctor. So if I connect the two of you, I'm sure she'll be able to guide you. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Lawyer, but your time,
time, yes. I'll keep it very brief.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sure, then we can. Thank you very much. Ubi answer one question to ask. Pacho Yemfa Richard and to ask. Rich, Pacho, go ahead and ask your question. Rich, I didn't start to Tara Honmo.
Oh, hello. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My question, and it's about the COS.
Mm-hmm.
And so Obi was shop like a retail shopper or someone there. Is he entitled to apply for that? And me sir.
Well, if you are running a shop and it is, I think, on the shortage occupation list, or it is a job that the Home Office will give sponsorship license for, then yes, the owner of the shop needs a sponsorship license first before you can assign a COS. Sponsorship license first before COS can be assigned. I don't think any shop will be eligible for a sponsorship license. You can again do a bit of research. What is the eligibility criteria for sponsorship license from the Home Office? I'm sure you get something to read. Or go to .gov.uk and enter sponsorship license guidance notes. It will give you something. Yes.
Now, Doc, lawyer, meaning so say when it comes to employment, before you be able to go abroad to bring in somebody, no, not just say what advertising a human who krum hanomo. I actually say when ya ubia and sana, you will be able to look into going outside UK to bring in somebody, and in so idea you need to take into account.
Yes, that is mostly for health and care people. They put some restrictions on them. because of how many agents, they put a lot of restrictions on them. Before Obi from outside Abasa saying you need to prove that you've done all your checks. There's nobody in the UK, nobody in England. Before you can bring somebody from outside, it's difficult to prove that.
Yeah. Richard, I think now we'll meet. Rich Mbacho, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, good evening, lawyer, and good evening, Anna. Lawyer Pacho, my question may be, sir, and say, me was COS so. Now, me currently, no, menya you have 3 years on my COS. Now, me kofa me ma about just 6 months ago, me ma 2. And never said me 5 years hano. Na me ma 2 no omunya so I have 5 years no. Ever said technically no manya be 2.5 years and I said 3 years. And no yes na enquire to know what do I have to do? I was a me day.
And yeah, I'm just trying to look for the rules. If you go to appendix skilled worker, okay, go to appendix skilled worker. And then you go to settlement as a dependent partner or dependent child of a skilled worker. Settlement as a dependent partner or child of a skilled worker. And it goes to the residential requirement for settlement. They are required, it says the applicant must have spent a continuous period of 5 years in the UK with permission as a dependent partner or child of the skilled worker. So if you get your indefinite, they will still have to do additional years to make up the 5 years before they can go for their indefinite. Go to appendix skilled worker, SW 42.1. Appendix skilled worker, paragraph SW 42.1. The applicant must have spent a continuous period of 5 years in the UK with permission as a dependent partner, of course, and as a child of the skilled worker before they are able to get their indefinite leave to remain. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lawyer Obi Busa say Home Office issue 60 days notice. Amount say ABR or COS ya cancel or sponsor any license and either say switch it and as if you chroma 60 days na beswa obetimi extending no.
Well, sir, onya a ground on which ubetimi aye application. In other words, before 60 days nebewo. Just example. Ebia before the 60 days. Now, this is a very unfriendly example, but ebia you became unwell and you've been receiving some serious treatment. Before your leave expires, over to your application based on your medical grounds. And Ebema was sitting extended. I bet me I down for 1 year. Throughout that period, you are here legally. I bet me I down for 8 months. Whatever period either Home Office, you are here legally. That is the only extension. But apart from that, Selber Trust Alcohol Home Office force said they should extend the period for you to look for another job. That won't work. But if you have a ground on which you make an application, there are different types, then your leave is extended by virtue of Section 3C.
Okay. Yemfa Eugene. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask two questions. On your last comment, the 60 days. Is Home Office still giving the 60 days? Because when the issue started, I know some of us who have issue with our COS, the Home Office gave us a letter and they indicated that our permission to work is still valid until they have written to us again. And they've given us this international recruitment team for us to contact them, which some of us have done, and we are still following up. So with that, are they still giving the 60 days to those of us or people who have contacted the recruitment team? Number two. Okay, number two. assuming I've got a switch and I have a new visa, myself and my wife, we are here. What proof do we need if we have to bring our children from Ghana to the UK? Thank you.
Thank you. To bring your children to the UK, first of all, you have to prove they are your kids, so birth certificates. If the birth certificates were obtained long time and you have the old one and maybe the new one for the passports, you can combine the two. But if you don't have the old one and you only have a recent birth certificates, my advice is for you to have a DNA done to prove that they are your kids. Example, the child is 14 years old, but the birth certificate was only issued last year or 2023. That is a huge gap. So for the Home Office to believe that the child is your child, they will not ask you to do DNA, but I would recommend if you can do a DNA to show that they are your child. Birth certificate, maybe DNA, your COS, your pay slips, your bank statement, your tenancy agreement. Of course, it depends on the age of the kids. They have to do tuberculosis and all those additional evidence. You can bring the children to the UK to join you. But the children will have to be the kids for both parents, not stepchildren, but both parents are the parents of those children. If it's step parents, they normally refuse it because the partner here is not able to show what we call sole responsibility. So take note of that. And the 60 days. Now the Home Office is operating in at least three systems. There are some people whose leave is terminated straight away, immediately. You have no way no 60 days, like immediately. Example, if your partner reports to the Home Office that the relationship is broken down, they write to you and your leave ends immediately with effect from that day. You have nothing to do. But if it is by virtue of your sponsor's license being revoked, the second category is they give you 60 days. And the third category is the people who the Home Office has written to that your sponsor's license has been revoked, but you don't have to do anything until you hear from another department from the Home Office. You are the lucky ones. You are the lucky ones because there are people I know who had their spending for more than 6 months. They are still waiting, and thank God they are able to look for something to do. So it is immediate, 60 days, or wait for another letter from the Home Office. So yes, this is the three systems they are operating, depending on everybody and their case. Okay.
Yo, lawyer, Obi Busa say the partner na okofana figure na aba or learning disability na ontimi ensure exams na. Then obetimi dey approve say oni pay exams no ontimi ensure.
Medical reports can be used. Medical reports, and of course the medical reports is not just one piece of paper the doctor is writing. You can attach his history of medical records in addition to the medical report. These are two things. We have medical records that is different from medical reports. The record can be from 1975 or 1980 or whatever it is. You print out all the attendance, all the medical, the treatment, the diagnosis, the prognosis. You can print all of that. Plus a report from the doctor to say that based on this thing, it's been assessed that this person cannot pass the exams. You can use that to make the application. The Home Office will consider that in making a decision. So it's a records plus report. These two you can use.
Okay, Ianfa Linda. Linda Bacho, go ahead and ask your question, Yetio. Hello, Linda. Linda, oh, answer Linda da. Into Ianfa Cecilia. Na Yankai, one more question near you. Mas Cecilia Bacho.
Me pacho me dase. Me pacho me pese me who say exams no. Qualification be na wo wa wontro.
Wo exam dey na wo kire say ukunu ana
exams entry exams no.
Okay, say we di beba UK hane A1 but who first degree any wontro. First degree and a master's I wontro. But as I say we di transcript no. certificates and a letter of proficiency in English. So say credit on your organ, wait me be able to online, you must send you link, no one go online, why be no one scanning when name be they take everything is becoming digital. You scan your face, you pay the fee, everything, then Actis, ECCTIS, they will assess it, everything, and give you a letter to support those records, then you are good to go. So it's a degree, master's, or you are 65 years old, then you don't have to write it.
Actis no obey no apply.
Actis no a link into online ECCTIS Actis. If you go online, you get their link or you get their telephone number. You can call them and ask for the link. They'll send it to you, and you forward it to the person. If it's in Ghana or wherever they are, they can go through the process themselves, and everything will be updated.
Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure, sister.
For last question. This question there, I'll say, is a 10 years plan for permanent residency affecting those who are already here? Example, I've been here for 4 years and almost due for permanent residence.
Well, if he mentions permanent residence, then is he an EU one? If it's EU, they are not affected by any of this. If you are under the EU regulations or EU family permits, you don't have to worry about this. And so if you are not under the EU, but you are under the UK rules, it is the white paper proposal. It has not taken effect yet. And normally, if there is a change in the laws, it's forward-looking, not backward-looking. In other words, it does not take effect from behind. So people who are on a certain law are normally not affected by the changes. So those of you who are already on the 5-year route will not be affected. Example, those who came under the 18,600, even though the figure has changed now to 29,000, they are still on the 18,600 because they were under the old law. So we hope and pray that, and we believe that those who are under 5 years will not be affected by the 10-year proposal that is being considered. Thank you, Nana. Nana, we're going to be running now. So
yes, meaning our time now. So, Obiso or Canada, Obiso visit UK. What is the process of acquiring Befaso?
You should apply for the UK visa depending on the type of passport or crack. You should contact the UK embassy in Canada. I'm sure they'll be very, 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 very helpful. So you should just go online, Google the UK embassy in our consulate in Canada. I'm sure they will be able to assist you. But it will be a visa. If you don't have a Canadian passport, it should be a visa.
You're right. That's it.
But you have to prove that when you come, you will go back. So if you have nothing doing there per se, maybe you are not working, you are not a student, you don't have any strong ties to Canada, they will think that if you come, you won't go back. So you have to prove that you will go back to Canada. Okay?
All right. Yeah. I'm saying, Ahano and everyone who quite me do ABC.
Thank you.
Yenje Ola's comment. No, on the other show, as the lawyer Jumedino. Oka krobo kasa ne ubetimi de krobo ejame kwan na makwa kubusa ho asem.
No, you are troublesome. Thank you.
I must say every Friday be answer no me the lawyer Ebrel for Ask the Lawyer on this same show and they ochina otu kwantini a better replay of what we did today tomorrow, but next week we will still have lawyer back on Ask the Lawyer show every Friday be Antony. If you have more questions and meet us next week Friday on the same platform. Lawyer, your last comment.
Thank you. Yes, the Home Office is still doing the automatic 5 years. If they check and they see that you meet it, they will do it for you. But if I were you, if I made the 5 years, I will not wait for the Home Office to do it. I will do my application. I don't want them to go and make the assessment. I'll just sign it off and then everything will be done. What if your partner in Ghana has learning difficulties? I've answered that one. Question 10, is the 10 years plan? No, I've answered that one. Follow up from the 60 days. Okay, I've just answered, apply for extension and you become illegal. Is there a way? Now, if you become illegal, you are illegal. It becomes very difficult to change to another route, unless maybe you have a child that is a British citizen, or you have a partner who has a child and you become a stepfather, then those other ones can come in. Apart from that, if you become illegal, it is very difficult for you to switch to another route. I've applied for my visa to UK and did my biometrics 21 on the 21st May. I have not got a response. Yeah, 20 May, June, we're in July, so it's just coming up to a month. Yeah, you should still be waiting. Be checking your email every day and make sure you don't miss anything. It's not too late. You can still get a decision. You will get a decision. If you have a dependent and you haven't seen your men since you came to the UK, the question is incomplete. I know exactly what you are asking about. A lot of dependents have become without any foundation, nothing to depend on. It's a problem. I was on a dependent, but my partner's contract ended and she left for Ghana. Well, you're in trouble. I would advise you to switch quickly to another sponsorship yourself. Otherwise, you would find yourself in a difficult position if you are not able to switch and your visa comes to an end. I have a daughter in Ghana, but she is part, but is it compulsory to go back before I bring her? No, you don't have to go to Ghana to bring your daughter. Once you make the application for her and she is granted, you can then ask maybe a family or somebody who is coming to come with a child. I'm done with school and working now with a Ghanaian passport. I'm sure there's a gentleman in Canada. Yes, if you can prove that you're working, your employer gives you a letter to show that you are working, etc., etc. It's a good job, it's good pay, you are settled, you have a house, you are cool there, then of course I'm sure they will give you the visa. My question is the Home Office doing the, yes, I've answered that. Thank you. I've tried to respond to as many as I can. Nana, my name is Wisdom Akaho, Wisdom Amedome Akaho. That's my name. Wiseman Solicitors. We are operating from 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, 8 to 9 The Print House, London, Dalston, E8 3DL. London, Dalston or Dalston, London, E8 3DL. Telephone numbers 0208 0165 384, 0208 0165 384, 0208 0165 384. That's the office number, 0208 0165 384. My mobile is 079 31411042, 07931 411042. We are here to help assist as best as we can, using the law as best as we can interpret it. Now, contacting, of course, you can contact us. Feel free, call your lawyer. I'm sure they'll explain everything to you. Nana, we are here to help. You keep your money, we keep our peace of mind. Wiseman Solicitors, we are here to help. Nana, over to you. Thank you so much.
Asema mimi ubia busa ne question
maune jowo fe chepe onulo maune jowo chepe mwa jowo fe maune ina mi okata. If you want the kurobo is maune jowo chepe. Thank you, Nana.
Maune jowo
Yo,
na ya beda si pa nyami shira pa nyami aduma ya besa anywhere share abm. Yeah, we are so grateful bring up na here wa oba abusia for OT Media was a platform. Your platform bring no say yeah Bible start issue information at one and it is uni OT Media was a platform no so I made the link no at a chat room one. Just click on the link, join us. na abere nyinaa no sɛ yɛbɛ start issue a wo nso watimi anya notification na watimi ajoin yɛn ahanom ɛna nana kwame medu ebesi saa abere ɛyɛ TAPTAP send focus section ora A class etnemu na what the all the conversation about TAPTAP send at the abrain and it is abri major jumedino at the ama ora A class na onso mo hanmo enfama ora A class Mr. O honoma so mami Mr. A class
abusia for your mamuna adjo eba time with TAPTAP send focus section and it got a lawyer that's CP for education on their mind and it's so P I mean in show and uncle so and super and good we be also we really and extremely appreciate it there was a phone what questions beyond but between the aba ama to me I with me I found wow and as a what contribution is what but wait to me the aba amai I heard it with my I found the batch over to me page on sa and I bet my send message at to chat room no more. Yeah, picking it up amount one batch up. And as I open so page on sa so now share with some folks one batch up. You can just send a message in the chat room. And then you're more mobile USA show no so Monday no so as a pa tili area batili and as a pa yamisha and then until Lee's no more now so we really and extremely appreciate it. Bacho, wow, person, okay, say beyond Bacho. You can meet yourself not for the diablo. Good. Bright, you can Bacho, Mananko, am I?
Okay, yo, me that's A plus. When there was some sunny mienu na dedi can say na yabese program na omo church wallet to wallet na my introduce no me pese o church ho no kakra na so sense su bi e ma me na de to su mienu me try say me ye transaction bi e wo ho no because me wo nkofo bi wo Dubai and sometimes they find difficult if as a financial issues na ade nta think say we no e be bo me pa bet me try say na me ye transaction bi na process na say ewa me hu su ye enti na ka Mr. Gasisi bi ibenya future bi e be wo dashboard no ye inside interface no very simple to say CD wallet no any pounds wallet the way e wo ho no pepepe no nke benya future bi e be ho no be easy how me aswa na do call directly transaction we say na because I think the process now be sending a wa that's it.
Process address any acquiring vana ewa bright but
yeah wallet to wallet no and I me patch.
Okay, so you want the demonstration of the wallet to wallet?
Yes. And I make sure demonstration now na me follow process no as a long process mami.
Oh, okay, Bachopi, Uncle Bright Bacho, bet me FBA or phone on amame. Oh, bet my call app and so amame Bacho.
Okay, Macho.
Okay. Bachopi need a mawa be and say how opese o follow the echoes here. Bachopi need ma obet me follow proceedings so amame. Why Mr. P. All right. Eni bacho wako so no bacho hwehwe won wo pan wallet no
yes bacho anuma hu
okay won wo pan wallet ewie de so uhun bibi ti sese me wa
bato ani me hu pa
won me bia we no won wo pan wallet so me de na won mo
ani
no me bo zero na won ma na say create wallet and I said it was give it out that
so that
perfect. Into click on more patch up.
Okay, back click.
O click here. What's that? Do send ad.
Yes.
Good. Next, open so send this kakoma obia. Now I can send no.
Okay.
All right. Good. Patch that na baby.
about choose amount to send in there. Me who pound in this exchange rate exchange in the one.
Okay, into on the right hand side on them no. Change your pound. So we see this at change your pound. All right, on them.
Oh, okay, my change. Yeah.
All right then. Good. Into I change it into the amount Ben I'll give to you.
Okay. For now, listen to contact me party me for processing na ma hwa ade my boy the amount to be a sure bet.
Okay.
Means answer.
And don't pass I bet my live demonstration. At least we go near same BM. Like a right enter £1.
But A class.
Yes, sir.
Class. But you said, yes, and can we get live demonstration? Someone who said, oh, £11 be all in. But you're sending them brand me. Why?
Now I might ask you about my about 3 or 4 demonstrations on Abiana and the bright auntie I say that
£5. Yeah, £5. Yeah, £5. Me UK number now.
It's another but your code near there.
UK number now. They wouldn't even have a phone so.
Let me make our code now happening.
Okay, open me code never happening. Prince. And I know Auntie Liz Emma may be side into the way there. Hand go, hand come. So I prepare. Now we live demonstration. Dear, not me dear name out, not just say. Prince K60.
K60.
Yes.
If you have a bright start code Prince K60.
That is my referral code.
Into now. Men modino just who dinner beba no mama then my next step.
But bright TRCS Sabri Omo UK Hankwa and Abitimi are sending Sika to their wallet for now. It cannot go beyond UK.
Oh, okay, because now me think
crossing border. We are within UK for now. We will cross border very soon, but for now it's within UK. So if you want somebody to send money to you heard me code in here Prince K60 send the bra. Now said the bear will be who said the wallet near Juma.
I'm bright what has here.
But okay.
So good. So what happens if the wallet which means you background code, which means you background telephone number, either search it, either send a man. I don't select it again now call sender a on straight solo. But said that in an aquam air cannon at the moment in India, Yang cross border no yet. UK within the UK, the Obetmaster no bisca, Nessa, a far hormone. And our harm, Nessa, be away, upon wallet, a show creator, and I she normal, but you just click on it. Now, what to say the car was sent this girl to one more. Nessa creator, no, then you can put money into it. Do bet match will be a scar or app, no, and so. In the angle bright, but I read 2 questions, no. I'm saying, second part, no.
Hello?
Yes, say 2 questions in my one.
But you now call me my £1 be when say when your confirmation.
Yami shop, Uncle Bryce, Yami shop. Until Quantum why?
I tell you, that's it.
Good. All right, that's CP. Enya is your banner, Bema Sarah, Yaba. Pachopi, wait me, Akasa, Maomi too, Pachopi.
Pacho, good evening, Papa.
Mammy, net to say,
about the another more. It's just a quick one. First, now, what's any power? You to meet your pound to power account, but you see, I'm saying, and yes, I be man.
What send the pound why it means your pound to open account to me. What send the call Ghana nana?
Ghana me patron. Sorry.
Patron, what means the name call what's the right name? Oh, the dollar account or Ghana.
Me what pound account or Ghana, but first let me to me.
First panel. It sometimes goes through. But as I said, the one system now, what send a better quim.
Oh,
okay. Bringing it back, no, and yeah. And Messi said, man, try and send in pound account to you. Me Pachopi, Auntie Ivy, Messi one league ma rates now 1 million, was it? And run, I say, I'm screenshot here and himself. And then net rate, I'm in our young as it was special rates. All right, Auntie Liz, Pachoman and go away.
Nampacho Nana Kwame, which me no mammy pray. Tekuhun sa aden. Well, I saw some quine bidian. Or be air dumia. Wabi chama musa. Wanya. Anyway. Nanka me baby's a lawyer question and minim so immigration idea. But Auntie Tilly so no bet me answer. So will be a guarantor ma will be no default payment. It may affect sa a guarantor ne credit rate.
The question again.
One just say okay, so be a guarantee ma will be being rent so behind Diana say or G loan business or sign as a guarantor. A money pakro entry. So or no now what guarantee no. I bet it may affect any credit rating.
Tilly want to come in, but me can say it depends on the terms and conditions. Remember example be to say Ghana students loan. Say we guarantor MOB na onipako entria omutimi beti wo the guarantor. It all depends on the terms and conditions of what kind of loan or what agreement that you are guaranteed for.
Oh.
Okay.
But you're more mutual Auntie Tilly's way.
She's unmuted already.
Oh, it does say.
No problem.
No. I thought Michelle be once again. And please, my two way, in terms of credit score, I'm not sure about that. Most of the time, BSL will read the terms and conditions of the guarantor. Minimum say, they can come after you because now who stand the money panel. So, say nipani ain't na say whatever it is, they will come after you. But in terms of affect to personal credit score, I'm not sure about that side. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
And just to add to what Auntie Tilly after reading the blueprint now, recently, I've forgotten where I heard it from. But from one of the lawyers in back, say Oko Todan, Nesse Bia, or so now, or third person, second person. Oh no, Baba support as guarantor and answer that kind of Inibia. Next went men chia, they'll go after the person. So per what the other two speakers have said, in terms of the guarantor, always read the small print, and near one. And technically speaking, who be a dancer say if a chrono be any angel.
I say, me also obedient to honum. Is it Nancy?
Nancy.
it can affect your money hasn't been paid. It can affect your credit. But in terms of credit score, no, I'll find out. I'm not sure about Mimi's idea. I'm not sure about affecting your personal credit score. Because also usually nipa na oji oji loan so uji loan na me di na wo bank, for example, send me di loan. And you would, but I'm the guarantor until they will come after you to pay the money. But say they affect personal credit score day. I'm not sure. I can find out and let you know.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Malizi, if you are petty takremze, me babe contact you for guarantor na.
Petrol you can where the many mukaya koji.
Ayo, actually, Smitha wano. Nana paya or crossing us. Nana one papa now crossing actually.
What time you can hear to Uncle Beshimi Ashmo?
But where Autobam? But is allowed.
Kaobe, Obe, who have family to say, Quajata media, I am in one.
Hey, Autobahn, Germany highway, overtake is allowed.
Nana, where dear, why am in one.
Now, one who said, me can't say on your live demonstration, pay a one is see one can was in beam.
Oh, Yamau. Right.
Yes, see a pet live demonstration from the screen. Do it.
Oh no, and you my phone in the Amintia, when me the computer and logging in. Amintia.
Hey, Nana, and you may when you have resolved a junk of form petrol mapa.
Oh, then the 11 pounds beyond that. Oh, mammy, move 5 pounds, 5 pounds, unia, and some besobe.
Na I was in a book of an young day to Sumro.
Oh, wait here, Munyan is here. TAPTAP at the robot. Won't me wallet. A Prince 360, Prince K60. Ubia kone TAPTAP so, especially UK for Ubo Prince K60 ebe back. Ode fatu wallet no mame.
That's why my uncle and trunk on soon tread one mamma and free bright to what dear Yancy and your mouth.
Why am I why am I ready? Malizi, why, Mr.
Well, so why do you need the interior? The Bayama Uniano. And Uncle Sama, Jonathan didn't any bebo last week. Hey, me pacho cautious a prophetess who any Auntie Naomi, Pamcho. On your boyfriend in one cautious and why?
MCS or how?
Waba.
Nana said, Nana also.
Oh, there be me so by on your eye.
Okay. A prophetess, oh, yeah, Michiano weekendy.
I know she reason being 10 or mamma Jenny photo.
Look at me, she had a picture photo.
Do that and photo for.
There on my child. I know the food china or the command godmother.
Ah, you.
You know about just Pacho, bet me the audio about my.
A-class me, Pacho, good evening to be Pacho, na me bisa, nanka me jail lawyer number ba me one yente.
Oh, Pacho, I'm from oh, sorry, sir, who was me chat room, sorry. I'm from Pacho, me send me the two anymore, why?
Okay, then.
And I'm able to mount.
Be up, please.
Okay, me that two chat room by 0793 141 1442.
141 142.
Hey, 141. There you.
I'm picking 0793141 042. Thank you.
That's it. But what question? I say, you but but my send a message to the chat room. Obviously, on me to on me to now. Odo Taba, in your bad Docas, in your Bema Daniel, James, Prince, Helena, Nancy, Mabel, Joseph, Patience, Thomas. Hey, Thomas, I say, you watch it. Emrys S20, Rosemary, Aunt 50, Eze Akosia, Janet, Oreku, Harriet, Alfred, Patricia, James, C, Daniel, John, Rena, Anaya, Grace, Becky, Odru, Susanna, Anne, Chad, Daniel, Kobe, Matthew, Uncle Matthew. Yeah, ciao. I was a 1 year there. Auntie Victoria, so yeah, ciao. Mark Olsen, I was a 1 year there.
And then to cry, dear doctor, you teacher by room, so I'm so at
Oh, Eric, why?
Yes.
Think correctly.
Yes.
Zoom user. Margaret. Benz. Judget. There was a one person who contribute to piano, but you can just send a message or raise up your hand. But one by video no page on sa. Let's say on me too. And that's what me I use the icon no. Let's say on me too. Let's say did ho enkomo. Wa question for tap won bi anso patrol. Wait me the aba amai. Let's say the ticket.
And they are for America for them also. Auntie Cecilia Manquama, Auntie Christiana, Uncle Jimmy, they know also.
Uncle Jim also.
Yeah.
Uncle Jim also. Uncle Jim also.
Ore kwa pejanins.
Ore ku bacho on me to free war.
I was there for my Joe.
Yeah, Joshua.
My type of questions, the same question twice, but I'm saying, my. Now, CD wallet, no. It's not functional.
Yes.
Patrol, maybe I'm a Johnny late man, but be a match them. What is happening and when do we expect it to?
Okay. Well, first question I'll do to chat room. I think you were the first person to put a question in the chat room.
Yeah.
Actually, you're paying for no area who do my then very soon to come to life. At the moment, it means just a bit. And I say, I did. Now, so, or more, you don't know area who do my then.
Yeah.
But what country man?
I'm UK.
Oh, okay, nice one there. Nice one.
Okay. Now, me did to pass a wallet to me transfer call Ghana. It's the same process.
The same process.
Exchange rate is the same, yo, right. That's it.
And I'm trying to make a good use of them. One that you get the destiny to a Yana, a bit more of a two straight away. Then I start training me and send it for dance. Even Jamana Tola, I take that 3 to 5 working days. Why was your phone? All right. Okay. But our work question, Biano. Wait me, dear Ba, am my end. And Mamma Monday, the answer. And Tilly, yeah, that's a pa. Because you stayed throughout the whole program, even during the section now, on behalf of USA for almost all the asset any Canada.
Mr. Member, but not me implementing a mistake.
Notice, but thanks for joining in. Yeah. And I Auntie Lizzie there, thank you. Even for time, I'll say up to Crown. Sometimes 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Well, yeah, thank you very much. And to all those who normally can be, aye hu mudino pacho yami ensham se de bia moba yami ensham pa me Auntie Victoria Kusin am so ko ana Victoria Kusin yeah Dr. Sibonku it is say
Oi, dear Busia, for a class with them, Miss Duckine, me free to me, Muncie.
Yami down so
yeah,
in your Dr. Boss it is say yeah, took down which Rakasa. All right. In your Bema Daniel, then Janet, it is saying, wait me all me too, Hona. The Daniel offense, so it is saying, what vessel Casavian can just. Oh, you know about Nancy, sorry. MCC Siana, many about question also. A bepeja, but said maybe mechano from last month. No, I think was it 2 months ago. So 3 months on a row, it will be down, small up. But free the 4th month, which is July, August, September, I don't know. Hopefully, a bit pajan mukakra. Because that time, no, not or more moko so air so or more mugu didra, didra. It's definitely, a bit pajan mukakra. Okay, your bad doctors, that's like a fra, so I hope say be okay. Ya me fa unko do asundie baby cry all so. Yeah, that's it. Yamin show. Say all the war bars you try to join. Yeah, so baby. All right. In your Bema Daniel, you can unmute then talk as well. In your Bema Jones, yeah, that's so. Say they be also over on both platforms. So, whether we are a resident class unofficial class president or class prefect or that in the class presidents for both platforms. So yeah, me inshallah so any sort baby said they be Obama no come I mean inshallah. Yeah, me inshallah. Inshallah. Okay, it was for set be beer and your dear and been for what kind that yeah. But what more one may say you draw na you know. If I say I try now more visit a pages and so. So these were some of the winners and women Europe they don't know. They have been credited already. And I will meet UK for so they don't know. They have been credited already. And sorry. First one was USA, sorry. USA didn't anyway no more. And Europe didn't move anyway. So when I credit more at that. And countries as you say, Selton Sky economy. Over 48 countries. Our job. Wow, we for will be an episode job piano. Brazil, Jamaica, and Patrol. Even as a was so escape Obeso holidays of Morocco. Man, so escape uncle. Just load your money into your wallet, or TAPTAP and app. So Conma is easier, faster for you. That's all they do. Uja. Now I come and so. And I can't say Timmy send if you soon in the tree a go on. Said Chawagofika earlier on. At the moment, Sweden and other countries now are working on also. In Timbawachopi, one mo bi e wo ho bia no way ni nyanum na no se which me Selton Sky then if you're not checking so as well Risha into virtual yan try near mo the room and check at my for wow I had my own creative Euro wallet and I said UK wallet of Bachopi with me a create here. And to those who are in the US and Bachopi, it's all increasing the percentage of the visibility, no, and so into Bacho. What was that account, Bacho create it, being starting for Juma. But the more people can use it quickly as possible, no, then they'll keep on going to the next phase and the next phase and the next phase. Not Obibia as I can be enter. At least, my dear uncle, am I?
Your uncle Ekas, Auntie Naomi Abanam, may sister obey o mute Namanachia and near Fino. Congestion at Chen and say at your quine super.
Auntie Naomi, Auntie. Congested.
No.
But no.
And Uncle Matthew and so was so on Cassa. Nansen or Banso, M2 yearment tray on Cassa.
Yeah, I know you meet me
Uncle Patrick and to me, I'm a neck.
Yeah,
I was halfway. And Uncle Sam, Auntie. Now, oh, yeah.
I don't grace you.
Hey, now then, you few say, Mammy.
Oh, Missy, they say say a menopause was a andropause was a
Mr. Wow, you are by my name somewhere.
A menopause and tinning and post.
What's about we?
Miss, what is that? My 4 ye brought 3 times I never war. Me fa me miasham say I'm quite a person, and I'm there too. 3 times, and it's a fair maybe so bizarre, and I'm a crime, and also quay. TAPTAP mumiti, and it's a to me about her.
One can cowbell quadabaya wadanifia, that a refi.
May say her, a
drone, say a friend doctor Nibin or Betcho.
And I grow, may say, me to me was a time we say, say on. Me call WhatsApp no me who say, yes, you were on a na me basa me be ya fe me wie na me say I'm glad I'm ka say me na me refi adekwa me. And then my phone 3 times. 4 fina obi ka me fam say I'm going back for am tin bed. And was also quite am say ampa na me boy ya me pem.
Ipa cho say dia wo ya mamono post na take over crowded. I think I no cry me ra into dia.
E ma ra Yankopon nimre.
There be you're too young to go through menopause.
And I cry made in quite some nashi.
Hey, our mechanic say I cry die.
But in quest is a beautiful home and car cross a bit of I reach.
Woman quite chance.
Yeah, me. Easy air can be soapy. Maybe I'll kick out Queen or Trent Vessel.
Doctor.
For Binaka, Alice or Melgaka. Because inquire why and check grano. Not a marshal dear.
Oh, Nipper bear me pa. Some many bear my or no crying was there, you know, or going nash. Maybe I'm sad to pum crack on my brabon.
Oh, and after them so.
It is so.
So say, stress and I'm common. Yes, I know. I don't
know. But for programs and meetings and stuff, no. But the message take away me as a alarm. What's that?
Make I pow. Make I say time na soon. Na me fa phone wie no. And I'm say na me grab phone ma fa me be fro bi na say dey na me. And I'm sorry to. You me kai pa tell me I'm saying na your program by 8-9 dey near start ho. Yeah na me refi. E bo so me so enso me hu say me call you know TAPTAP for no ye WhatsApp no mu enso che me kai de kwa na me ka say be ntia me bowura tap mu kurasa no so me say stress la me ko mu na me offer so sa di wu count stress na do so
okay kakaka
me say no
kakaka fa be okay
and be okay and the lady ba chonso ho ye de
Auntie Liz.
Yo, Pacho, mention me who
Miss me,
that just some pajamas and ye be me puno.
Miss me, who
Fine, so, or be a how ye. Why you do more boo, sir?
Miss me, who ye pa.
Pacho, when ni Daniel.
Miss me, who ye pa.
Sweetie Bobo.
When you're sweetie, who sweet,
Mimi wo bebro.
Obe can you afford to abu musi ya we could feel was jama.
So why never Becky can find trouble me?
Any enemy.
Daniel. And then honey chowder, but now honey by and so Uncle Sam mama.
Oh.
Honey, a question baby that.
Oh. Honey, adwuma dɔɔso. Honey, adwuma dɔɔso.
Yɛsum for dɔɔso nso a woyɛ ne nyina.
Ɔba ɔna yɛ secretary work nyina no wasa reception no wasa no aduane ama ɛkyɛ sɛ nye zo honey ɔbro.
Hey Daniel. Tamuama bibi kakra show ho na wo bɔne yɛ nwumtire.
No kwala Daniel kan.
A wo sɛ no credit wo bɔ wa credit mi pie.
Ɛno ano.
Wo sa Daniel we. Asɔfo ma deɛ si yɛ kan nya ne papa bɛyɛ ɛbɛ kan ya nka menyi ne to yɛ sɔfo ba da
na kyerɛ sɛ meyɛ boro so
oh Daniel mintimi nka wo atem bɔne
good
anyway Zoom user pagya ne nzɛnto mamfa ne deɛ mmra
ama class after
Pacho 1 second yeah Pacho last week me kasa for US. Last week na yes about marriage home baby before Father's Day, you know. Me make comment center benya obine na kasa na OT media the number mame. And so meant me said WhatsApp na number so me try and me sanka.
Your WhatsApp number.
Okay, and so me yeah we in sanka.
Okay, me send it na why? Okay, me send na
na me the number so man no you know because na me say was a little bit challenge. No. It is incubating me a high me and not just a easy. Amame.
Okay. Maybe I choppy Zoom user. Okay. Zoom user but just check it. Where you hear them I send on private message why.
Yo I may driving. Better
driving.
Eh?
And I
can't first one make sure so they are time to meet me.
Just take a screenshot of number no. Go back here. Why?
I tell you,
a better.
Still get the I thought 110 now you second one.
In short,
it's general number na can send the man no be more why.
Okay to call it out. Mama, okay so person over number.
Oh yeah, be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 804.
Me wa so mo. Oh, man, Nancy, but may you question an normal one batcho. All right, plus 1 or
batcho I. Plus 1 804 393 8212
8212.
Batcho I.
18 plus 18043 9382
19.
12. Last 2 12. Yes, please.
Okay, 12. And the end of the 212.
And then yes.
Okay. All right. Your first name no go
Agnes.
Okay, I'm a man.
That's fine.
All right. Okay. All right.
That's in fact all the same.
Pacho say.
Pacho within the same.
A class now.
A plus now. Okay, yo, me that's.
Pacho a class.
A class. Okay. Okay, you. Yeah, the class and I'm a wow. Okay.
Ni bibi open jeje ntini efe ni.
Mr. Clark. Mpatwa sana ubeyi antinansia no. Wo SIM card a ono awo ne number okogana we use. Nka ye possible so obeba no baby sa question na nka because so we were here we register to reach we betimi wa what time this ka ma ho na wa koyi ne wo ta mobile money for no. Even if you don't have bank account. Auntie Nancy question no be shy.
Yep. So Auntie Nancy, just to add a bit to what Auntie Liz I can see no. So first and foremost, you know, say who UK had ya and now who Europe and I say so USA now what wallet no or country wallet no or phone so but your first gum one any one. So gum answer no akọ. Into the gum now ko Ghana na. The money is easier in case of a was sending Usika. Easier say ubetimi asend ho esika than say ubeyeno you know o card so. But most of the time no omo chako Ghana and omo to different place. No use omo card omo app no because use order into no. And most of the time no bank because say verification blah blah blah. Now was a failure. And as a bank better so more for no man now. And do you stand to wallet in one Oko Ghana na anywhere for holidays? Life is every more easier ever more. Next episode twadie, ever so tunga, next tunga watch and episode twa. Would you tunga watch mamma no mobile money no mana? Now they are two way so no chanica April ever straight away. Why? All right, over SIM card as soon as you get to Ghana. All right then. And do to me and sana a bit easy amount. Said they can wo hana kaudi chibi is the same thing. So just put the money on. Once you get there, then you can make your payment easily as possible. If you want cash as well, oko mobile money join to na. Not as my but if they say me if you are 300 or no money is saying no sending the amount. Then they will send the money not where you cash any amount. But one thing I'll be pleading with more holidays, you know, and many may could be ano, personal need man. Men tank or just can free mobile money joint for say how because of and I'm out for bomb, I'm out for more planet, need those sincere and the identity. Can how will now SIM card nano, more raise mobile money. Now do no man akko. Say over scarcely or mobile money Ghana the also. And mom their own say be our whole 1 hour. All those some of them they can see by your appearance and even the way I so your whole their but try eliminate that aspect and so kakra. All right. In your bands, but what me do the am I?
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, Dazabre.
But now, Mister Bisa say, is there any way meet me about UK on Tibro for and baby and he didn't so that's on quay course so I think it's never any one question. And then Bisa say, a friend say now we pass a yearly and say we just what you do Parabana. Ska I will pay a year winyan total we income for the year. And also no my who be biana. These are the two questions.
Uncle, questions there, very good pound. But lawyer, running for one, mamma.
This color young could touch me for one rat poison.
Okay.
It's because yes, I said I'm go to. Home lawyer and a home lawyer still go. In the area, you try left and right, but the question of winner, almost so be our baby, Uncle Esa exam, so those any dear. Say lawyer, hold my ever but that need to be the lawyer normal. Esa to chat room.
Okay.
And you need one, but you'll bet me after no, Naka. What an art also from the way.
I think that's bad.
I'm check a cry and he say, yes, what's you when you move, and you're bad because when you pay on take exam no year according to the lawyer client
65.
It be already 65. And access to medical records to say why you for pa and they mean record, not just a letter. To say so you for pa and yes, I dear Tibiano or betro. And another lawyer say net piece, I say be listening and BB. And she said, almost call a national boat tape nitia. Just what born saying be after the 10th time, no be pass.
That's bad.
Into where they're from the pocket.